Good Saturday afternoon, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith with the Superior Forecasting for the Northern Mid-Atlantic on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. And clouds are increasing during the evening, but oh my God, it's like listening to Alphaville's, Afternoon in Utopia. I should play that song right after I do this broadcast. Took a nice bike ride this morning at sunrise through Montclair into Bloomfield Ave, and then took a nice walk around the park and came back, did a little sun tanning outside, opened up the windows, cleared out the house, did a lot of stuff today. So next up is this beautiful picture of the beautiful tulips coming up right now. And our video forecast discussion for this afternoon and evening right here at Garden State Weather on this Saturday, the 2nd of May, 2020. It's truly magnificent to see everyone outside today, the dogs and the folks and the bikes and the kids and the cars, actually, whizzing by with the rooftops and windows open. Just fantastic. A well-needed break from our monotony that we've been in over the last couple of months here. Temperatures this afternoon at around 2:30, running in the upper 60s and low 70s. The sky cover is just, it's beautiful. A mixture of high clouds right now, and we'll take a look at the visible satellite. This is what it looks like. Pull this up. Pull it up. Yeah, just some high, thin clouds beginning to stream into the area. Not all areas seeing this, so obviously the shore points, there's a lot of people on the beaches today. And the boardwalks, they've opened up some of these here in some of the counties. And of course, most of the state parks have opened now. Check your listings on NewJersey.com for the park nearest you. And, social distancing and proper etiquette obviously still needs to be in place here throughout this COVID-19 situation that we are continually under. And I did not look at any news this afternoon because, well, I didn't want any further damage. I just wanted to enjoy the day, and I'm sure we all do this afternoon. Not much is going on the radar right now. This is all ground clutter here, and this might be a slight sea breeze that's developing here, but probably just ground clutter. It looks to me like it's ground clutter at this point. Actually, that radar here out of Fort Dix is still out because they're doing a major upgrade, so that's probably is just ground clutter from the combining of the Dover and Dix, and then of course New York City. Here comes our warm front and another disturbance here with some showers and thunderstorms across the upper Midwest, and a short wave diving into the flow here, an increase of high and mid-level, low-level water vapor, but most of today is just completely dry. We'll start to see an increase in clouds tonight and maybe some showers around tomorrow. We'll get into that. The new storm system coming into the west coast and, of course, the Cascades here. And everything looks pretty dry. A little bit of moisture here in southern Florida, but other than that, it's hot. Low-level water vapor, all this dry sinking air here and in the plains and in the southwest in California, where it's been very hot. Portions of Mexico's Baja California has also been very hot, too. So we're seeing the beginning stages of, again, another active subtropical jet. And it's still a very active polar jet across the contiguous United States. If we looked at the composite radar, which we will, it's going to show up. Here we go. I'm on composite radar. Here we go. Here's our band of light rain now getting into Nebraska and Iowa here. And this is all just the individual Doppler radars, not showing anything right now. And some precipitation getting into the Great Lakes. And, of course, our new storm system piling in the moisture off the Cascades and into Washington and Oregon and northern California's coastline this afternoon. It's a nice shot of the visible this afternoon. The storm system in the Midwest here, our warm front coming in with some mid and high level clouds spilling over the top of the ridge now off the east coast. So that looks good. There's some puffy cumulus clouds and here down in the Gulf, this looks quiet. And of course, our new storm system coming into the west coast this afternoon. And the national hazards for this afternoon, just some red flag warnings here in the upper Midwest and across western and southwestern Texas into New Mexico here and portions of southern and central Colorado. everything like this looks good, and still the rivers continue to flood just a little bit down through the Mississippi River, but everything else looks nice and quiet for a change. Real-time temperatures nationally at 2 o'clock Eastern Time here, running in the 60s from upper 50s and 60s here across the Northeast, down into the low and mid-70s from Philadelphia south, and then into the 80s again in Florida where it looks good. It's very hot here in southwestern Texas where we have some dry conditions in place right now, and temperatures are already soaring into the mid and upper 90s here across the panhandle here and just south of that. And also, of course, New Mexico and Mexico here, we have temperatures back into the 90s. Cooled off just slightly here in California over the last 24 hours or so. And we looked at the temperature change in the last 24 hours nationally. It's cooled off just a little bit here. It's risen up a little bit here in the Ohio and Tennessee and Mississippi River Valley here into the Northeast, just a little bit. Cooled down again with the rain ongoing across the upper Midwest or Central Plains here. And it's cooled down again across southeastern, central, southern Canada, actually. High weather net storm browser at 2:35 Eastern Time shows from light rain across Des Moines into Lincoln, Nebraska, and again maybe a outlier thunderstorm here with some lightning over the higher terrain here in Denver, just well west of Denver here into northwestern Colorado, and of course in Mexico we have a diurnal heating of the day, so maybe some lightning strikes and an outlier thunderstorm here, but everything else looks nice and quiet. National precipitation ending at 12 o'clock in the 12Z this morning, 8 a.m. this morning nationally. Very light and spotty across the northern half of the United States here, the northern tier, and across Colorado and Wyoming here, and of course very light and spotty across the mid-Atlantic coast states and the New England states as well. Over the next 24 hours, maybe an inch or so here in the northwestern territories of Washington and Oregon at the higher elevations here, and then of course across the Ohio River Valley here we can see a swath of maybe about an inch of rain as this disturbance moves across. This is going to be valid for today at 12Z, ending tomorrow morning, actually Sunday morning at 8 a.m. The 48-hour forecast doesn't look terribly much. Again, that swath of rain spreading down through the southern mid-Atlantic here, maybe from the Ohio River Valley. So these areas could pick up maybe a half of an inch or, close to that, maybe an inch in spots. Areas well to the north and west here across the northern mid-Atlantic, probably just a couple of tenths of an inch of rain, and then through central and southern New Jersey, that's where you could get about a half of an inch or so. And again, the same forecast here. We go into the next 168 hours. It still looks pretty wet in the same areas where it is right now, and of course, back into the Cascades here and Washington and Oregon. But look, even in the next 168 hours through Saturday of next weekend, it still looks very light precipitation. Lots of clouds, maybe a passing shower or whatever as we go through the week. But other than that, nothing really too much to worry about. The highest amounts of rainfall will be in the southern areas of New Jersey, where maybe up to an inch of rain, and that would be over the total of 168 hours over the next 7 days. So not terribly bad at all. Storm Prediction Center's convective outlook doesn't look too impressive here. Marginal risk across the Ohio Valley extending just back to the west. National fire, this looks interesting. Isolated dry thunderstorms here across southwestern Texas. Critical fire danger in the areas that we mentioned earlier. And there is a mesoscale analysis for Upper Utah and Colorado for a few of these thunderstorms this afternoon to become locally intense, but they're not dealing with a watch at this time, and they're thinking that the chance of that is going to be about 20%. Other than that, high pressure is wedging in here across Pennsylvania into upstate New York this afternoon. We got a nice westerly flow. Nice, beautiful day today. Downsloping air off the mountains, so temperature is so nice this afternoon. Fortunately, they will not last about this warm, but we'll take a look at that. But they're not going to be too far off either at this time of the year. The models tend to underdo insolation in the afternoon as well. Here comes our upward disturbance here across the southern Canada here, where the temperatures are much cooler. And here's that disturbance here across the upper Midwest, which is moving in our direction. Between this wedge of high pressure and this will be this developing warm front in here. But it's probably going to remain nearly stationary. And if we looked at the weather chart this afternoon, let's see if we can pull this up. All right. I think we lost our bearing here. Oh, here we go. We haven't lost our bearing. We're still here. So here's the developing warm front, and here's the cold front in here. And here's our wedge of high pressure ridging all the way into northern New England this afternoon. So it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. But this is going to change, and this one will definitely change as they come through the flow over the next couple of days. Briefly touch upon the weather charts from the NAM model guidance from this morning. Here comes that developing warm front with a little bit of shower activity after midnight, nothing too major. And here comes the cold front behind it tomorrow morning. So there's not like cold air really behind it, but it may touch off a few showers. They don't look to be totally impressive. Don't look at this and say, wow, that's really heavy. It's, moderate, not, moderate to light. And here's that frontal boundary stalled out, and another little wave of low pressure diving into southern New Jersey and the Delmarva area during a Sunday afternoon. And again, along that front, here comes the next disturbance moving through. This one is probably a little bit more potent because it has the colder air coming in behind it, and that's for Sunday night and Monday morning. So basically at midnight tonight, Sunday night, you can expect some light rain around northern New Jersey, maybe the Hudson River Valley area, Pennsylvania. But the heavier rain, anything that's associated with this central and south from Philadelphia down through Washington, D.C., where the instability will probably be the greatest as well. And that begins to clear off the coast early, very early, right after midnight, all areas here on Monday. And that looks good because right behind it doesn't look to be anything too major here. Maybe just some downdraft, downwind showers developing over the Poconos, and maybe a little bit of instability getting in for an isolated shower here, crossing through portions of Pennsylvania into New Jersey as we head into Monday afternoon. But even that doesn't look too impressive in terms of overall precipitation totals. And here already we're seeing a return flow here as we get to Tuesday. So we're pretty chilly here and dry on Tuesday. Or Monday night and Tuesday morning, and here comes the next warm front and disturbance from Chicago and Milwaukee into Columbus and points to the south and west. Here is the National Weather Service's digital database blending of models. Obviously today you're seeing the national temperatures here, and they're hot in Texas and also into southern Arizona and parts of southwestern California as well. Don't forget it's early in the afternoon there. Those observations I just showed you earlier. It's like 2:45 here. It's like, 3 hours earlier there. So here we go. Tomorrow doesn't look bad. On Sunday, it looks like it's going to get into the 70s here, upper 60s and mid 70s here on Sunday. So that looks good right now from this vantage point. We'll hone in on that in a minute. And then here comes slightly cooler air, 60s again on Monday for New Jersey. It's still hot in the southwest and all across the south. It's particularly across the Baja of California and the Baja of Mexico and southern Texas and even parts of Mexico, even down to like Cancun, Playa del Carmen. Great places to be right now. If you could be there, you should be. Wednesday doesn't look too bad, upper 50s to low and mid 60s, so it's cooling off a little bit behind that cold front. Temperatures remain so that way in the New Jersey, New York City area on Thursday, Friday. Same kind of story, the heat in the southwest and in the western United States, much cooler in the northern plains and across the northeast. Same story again by Saturday. When we're looking for the next chance of like any measurable precipitation in the form of rain. And of course, everything is about the same on Sunday, May 10th. Temperatures soaring in the west and south and mid-plains and western United States and cool in the east. And that trend continues all the way until Monday, May 11th, where temperatures are still quite cool in the east and northeast. And the mid-Atlantic and southern Atlantic and Florida, all the way from the Midwest, the Continental Divide, Texas, California, you get the picture. Well, it's another day today where, like I said, it's stellar. These temperature forecasts was spot on. Tomorrow, if we get warm air advection in place, we can have temperatures all the way into the mid-70s just everywhere, almost everywhere, except right along the immediate coastlines, again, as South Shores and East Ends of Long Island, where, the air is being cooled from the water. But, if you're not along the immediate coast and you're inland, oh, wow, I don't know what you're doing tomorrow, but don't stay indoors, that's for sure, especially with the parks open now. By the way, I heard that Sandy Hook is opening on Wednesday, May 9th, with restrictions. Check New Jersey weather, newjersey.com for that information. Temperatures on Monday, again, slightly cooler, but still nice, near seasonable levels, mid-60s across the region. Cooling off slightly on Tuesday, that's expected. Again, Wednesday is slightly cooler, again, below normal. Thursday is also below normal, slightly, especially the north and west you go, the further north and west you go. Temperatures on Friday, same kind of story, definitely below normal by Saturday of next weekend, and then Sunday of next weekend below normal, and Monday of next week, May 11th, below normal. Oh my God, when is Cinco de Mayo coming up? Let's see, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday is Cinco de Mayo? A little guacamole. And of course, the one thing that's going to change, that's going to be so different going forward on this Cinco de Mayo here in the United States, is that you're not going to be able to go out to your favorite Mexican restaurant and celebrate with pints of cerveza or taps of cerveza or micheladas or Mexican food. So I'm sure they'll be busy for takeout, but it's going to be strange. And of course, in Mexico, it's the Day of Independence, so they don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo the way we do here in the United States. So that's going to do it for this afternoon's video forecast discussion. For everything Superior forecasting for the Northern Mid-Atlantic, it is GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith. Have a pleasant Saturday evening, folks. We'll be back tomorrow morning.